This is a Frank podcast.
Welcome back to another episode of the Extremely Casual Gamers podcast with Ellie, Chris and Guy. This is a casual gaming podcast for the everyday gamer. And on today's show, I want to talk nostalgia. I want to talk Habbo Hotel. And Chris, you want to talk about rules you've imposed on yourself in video games.
Yeah, so I do this weird thing when I'm gaming sometimes where I'll just make up a rule and stick to it. It's not like a thing you can toggle on and off for a game. There's no reward for it. I just decide I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Doing it currently with Cyberpunk 2077. Did a post on our group chat, our group page to see whether anyone else does it, and it turns out a lot of people do this.
Cool, fun. Okay.
I'm not the only one.
Nice. All right, you're not alone. Now you're probably wondering, where's that third voice?
Oh.
Where's that third voice gone? He's still not back.
And look, to tell you the truth, what's actually happened is last week's podcast was so good, we've straight up cut him out.
Yeah, we realised we didn't need him.
We don't need Guy.
Yeah.
So if he wants to come back, that's fine. He will have to start as sort of like an intern, a sort of producer role, and then eventually we'll start maybe using him a wee bit.
Maybe. We're still up in the air on that. Nah, Guy is not back yet, but he's actually sent us a little voice clip, Chris, so we'll listen to that now. What's Guy got to say this week?
I'm not attending the podcast tonight, but I will absolutely be back next week. It's been a very crazy couple of weeks for myself and for my family, and medication and side effects and all sorts of shit. So I won't be there tonight, but a big shout out to Chris and Ellie for holding it down, for being really supportive, and for everybody who's messaged on the Facebook group supporting me as well. It's been really, really nice. And I know that consistency is, one of the biggest things for a podcast, so it does really suck when somebody is away, but I know Chris and Ellie will be doing a very, very good job, just like they did last week. And I will be back next week, and I'm excited to pop in a little bit throughout the episode tonight when Ellie talks about something, when Chris talks about something, but it is just important for me to just stay home for one more week, just to really let this medication do its thing to my brain, and also just to spend some time with my family because I've been away for a week. Anyway, it's going to be a good episode tonight. I'm feeling it. I have not played any video games for quite a while now, but I am very excited to get back into some Helldivers 2 because it's been way too long, and of course some Red Dead Redemption 2 as well. If anybody's got any other suggestions for a game, I'm happy to play it for 5 minutes. I was going to make a joke about how I've actually been faking being sick for 3 weeks, and I've actually just been playing Final Fantasy 7. But I just couldn't be bothered. Enjoy the episode. I'll pop back in sporadically throughout the show. But miss you all. Thank you again, and I'll see you next week.
Cool. So unfortunately, Ellie, that's all we've got time for on today's episode.
Thanks for tuning in.
So we'll see you next week. No, that's great from Guy. And he has no idea. I was I called him last week and I was messaging him and stuff, and we're going to start going for runs and stuff together.
Good on you guys.
I bought some brand new running shoes.
Wow.
I am going to be a pain in his ass. I'm going to be like, hey man, we're going running.
Yeah, you invested so much money. You have to use those shoes now, bro.
Yeah, and of course I can't help but get suckered into getting the good ones.
Oh, did you? You went all out.
I'm running, man. I need to look after my feet.
You do. Some advice on that, actually. Wear them around the house before you start running in them, because I recently bought running shoes and I thought, they're going to be better than the ones I was wearing, which they are, but I had really sore muscles for like a week because my body wasn't used to the shoes.
Yeah, right, okay.
Yeah, so wear them around the house just so your muscles can get used to like the soles, I guess.
That's a good idea. Maybe we'd start by going for a few walks around the block, chuck
that.
them on for that. But no, I'm going to get around Guy massively. He's going to get really sick of it. It's going to be pretty intense stuff, pretty clingy shit. So,
you're a good friend, Chris. You're a good friend. And we love you, Guy, and we're looking forward to having you back probably next week. But as he said, he's gonna pop in and out of this episode. So we really haven't got rid of him that easily.
That's right. And also he will be joining us next week. We'll be able to talk about this, but we are doing a bit of a demo of the new Astros Playroom game. They've made a full game for PlayStation. They've invited ECG down to come and do a bit of a hands-on experience later this week.
Yeah.
He will be joining us for that, and we'll have a bit of a review next week on the podcast.
Yes. Take care of yourself, Guy. We love you. Good on ya. And now let's jump into some listener feedback. Now, Paul Askew, as per, he did the weekly roundup of feedback.
Thanks, Paul.
Thank you, Paul. You always do well there. But he has got a little thing to say to you, Chris.
Oh, God.
I thought Chris would sympathise with losing my Pokemon save a lot more than you did. Remember he was talking about last week how he lost his Pokemon save to his little cousin back when he was a kid?
Yes.
He was real gutted that you didn't show a bit more empathy.
I'm a prick, eh? Because what I did was I think I pretty much instantly, instead of just being sympathetic and just being like, that sucks, man. I know what that's like. That really sucks. I then went on this whole yarn about how it does happen, how to fix it, and like how, and you know what I mean? Like that's my flaw. Just sympathize and say, damn it, that sucks.
Yeah, but hey, you're always trying to help. So I do appreciate that.
It's from a good place.
It is from a good place.
I just need to sort of sometimes, depending on the situation, not try and,
No solutions, thanks.
No.
We just want sympathy, okay?
Just sympathy, no solutions. I like that.
Yeah, there you go. Daniel Simons also said, did I hear Chris wrong, or did he say Movie World had Marvel rides? Apparently you called it Marvel Spider...
Oh my God, that
now I'm being called
100%. They're all DC rides. Did I say Marvel?
Apparently.
Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. They're all Batman. One's literally called DC Rivals. Yeah, I'm so sorry.
That's okay. No, I didn't call you out for it because I've never watched any Superman movies or superhero, whatever you bloody call them.
Well, to be honest, it is very confusing. For example, Spider-Man, is he Marvel or DC?
What?
He's Marvel.
Is
so
he?
they do actually have a Marvel ride.
Oh, okay.
Spider-Man.
Oh.
And then there are DC rides as well.
Okay.
Green Lantern, etc. So just to make it even more confusing, full disclosure, I am very sorry about that. So is this just things Chris did wrong?
Yeah, this is just calling you out.
Oh, God.
Mark, I have to apologise to Mark because apparently, I haven't actually listened back to it, but apparently I accidentally called him Mike. I think in the moment I said, Mike Avery said blah, blah, blah. So sorry,
that's Mark. I know Mark Avery.
So do I. That's why I was shocked to hear that I even did it wrong. So I'm sorry, Mark. That is my bad. Mark also put a question in the ECG for ECG podcast group on Facebook. How does everyone listen to the weekly episodes? And I thought it was quite interesting.
The poll. That was interesting.
Yeah. So 71% listen via a podcast service like Spotify, Apple, iHeart. 15% watch on YouTube. Thank you guys.
Out.
Hello to you guys. Just giving you a little wave.
I still haven't watched one of those yet because I work in radio and you had for a long time as well.
Yeah.
And I do podcasts and you can just be yourself and talk about a lot of stuff because no one's watching you.
Yes.
And so I don't want to watch myself sitting here at this table talking about video games for 50 minutes. It might be too confronting.
Totally, bro. I haven't really watched them either because I'm scared about what I do when I'm not talking. Like, am I like picking my face? Am I picking my nose?
Ellie, you're a train wreck, I'm going to be honest. You need to watch it for your own sake.
I know, thank you. And then
thank you.
Thank you. 14% watch both or do both.
Wow.
YouTube and listen because they can't get enough of the show. So thank you to those who do it on both.
Holy
and
shit, yeah.
If you're not watching us, then you're missing out, I think.
I think we need like a third way to consume it. Like maybe we should put it into AI. It'll type out everything we say and put it into like a thing you could read.
Oh, yeah.
And then people
like
can read it, listen, and then watch it.
Yeah, that'd be the trifecta, wouldn't it?
That would be actually.
Nice.
It's not a bad idea.
Not a bad idea. Cameron Holt said, this is a nice message. I got to say, I really appreciate that Guy is so honest about his mental health. So many men, let alone just people in general, tend not to share that sort of thing, which further damages their mental health and increases the rates of depression. So thank you, Guy, for normalising and seeking help for mental health.
Absolutely.
And I agree. I'm very, very proud of Guy for just being open about this because everyone goes through stuff and suffers and it's okay.
That was what was so interesting because when I was speaking to Guy on the phone, I was like not worried at all because everyone I'd spoken to, like everyone I work with at work, have all experienced it themselves. Pretty much all of them had bouts of depression and had so much advice to give.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, what do I do as a mate?
Yeah.
And I reckon I spoke to maybe like 6 people and they all had experienced it. And I was like, wow, this is super common stuff.
Wow, yeah, it is.
Yeah. So if anyone you know is going through it or if you are as well, let your mates get around you because to be honest, an excuse to hang out with your mates, I'm down for that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Amen.
Get amongst it.
Get amongst. So, yeah, thank you for that, Cam. And then question of the week goes to Sean Vandermeer. I hope I say that name right. I really do. But Sean was wondering, have you ever in a game had a moment where something just clicked and you became like Neo from the Matrix and the move just flowed? Basically, you just were nailing it. They were saying yesterday there was a round where I could not miss a person's head. What were they playing? I actually don't think they were right here. But basically, I was headshotting left, right and centre. I was a ballet with guns, pirouettes and spins. And then the next round, apparently I had a stroke and was unable to hit the broadside of a barn.
I know. Like sometimes you just go, and to be honest, it happens when you're playing sport.
Yes.
The closest I can relate to this is sometimes when I've played basketball in the past, for about 5 minutes there, every shot I take just goes in.
Yes.
Now, this is a very rare occurrence. It's happened to me like twice in a decade. But you just feel great. Everything clicks and it's just second nature. That has happened to me before while playing games.
Yeah.
Once again, very rare occurrence. And I hope to get to that level with Cyberpunk because I'm playing it at the moment. and the level of ridiculousness things you can do is like infinite, and I have scratched to the surface of about 5% of it.
Yeah.
There's all these things you can do to jump really high and slow down time and spin and dodge and blah, blah. And all I'm doing is like walking around, shoot gun, walk around, shoot gun, so
There's lots to learn.
Can't wait to get to that level.
Yeah, nice. Well, there were a few people that fed back to this question by Sean. Guy was one of them.
What?
Lost count the amount of times games of Fortnite I've had where I've been a Lord of the Snipes and get the dub. Don't know what this means.
Oh, this is
yeah, it's all just lingo. Only to lose my crown on the drop from fall damage or not finding a weapon in time. So anyone who plays Fortnite, I hope you're related to that because I didn't. But
So he was the Snipe King, was he?
yeah, and
King
then,
of the Snipes.
Yeah, and
getting
then
the dub.
Yeah, and then he loses his crown on the drop from fall damage.
Guy's so cool, man. We need him back, man.
Cool, man. We've also got Cam who said Rocket League. I started trying to utilize the flips and fly more often and thought I got the hang of it when I won a game with 10 plus goals and assists and a few saves. Only for my next game, I scored the same, if not more, but in my own net instead.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
See,
that's
it comes
rough.
in flashes, man. All of a sudden, you're just feeling it.
Exactly.
And then it goes as fast as it came.
Oh, this always happens to me in anything really. If I'm suddenly doing really well at something, my brain gets all excited and then I'm like aware that I'm doing well.
And then like, how do I maintain this doing wellness? And then boom, gone.
And then you suck because you're not even thinking about the game anymore.
That's right.
Yeah. Laura said, I had this with COD years ago. Usually I play very average, but this one game I completely smashed. Got something like 40 kills and 1 death. Could never pull it off again, but for some reason in that game I was completely in the zone.
Was that
Wonder what
Laura?
was. Yeah, Laura said that.
Damn, a 40-1 KDR.
There you go.
Kill-death ratio.
Nice. Yeah, just in my brain.
That is scucks.
That is Scucks Deluxe. So thank you, Sean, for your feedback and your question of the week. You can contribute to our listener feedback in the ECG for ECG Facebook group or on Instagram, Extremely Casual Gamers Podcast. Chris, I think it's time for some gaming news.
Oh, do you think it's time for some gaming news? Gaming news. 2 articles. This one's first. It's quite quick.
Okay.
All right.
All
and
right.
apologies. It's about Elden Ring again.
Okay, cool.
Full disclosure, I don't care. Elden Ring is one of my 3 favourite games I've ever played. The
Yep.
Witcher 3 is the number one. Not sure what number 3 is, but Elden Ring's in there as well.
Okay.
The Witcher 3 is long regarded as having the best ever DLC. It's called Blood and Wine. It came out. It was bigger than most other RPGs. It was a $40 in New Zealand expansion that just added a crap ton of new content. CD Projekt Red over the weekend did a post saying, congratulations to Elden Ring and From Software. You have taken the crown from us with your new DLC, Shadow of the Erdtree.
Wow.
Because it's just added so much to the game. Usually
Really?
a DLC is like a little 10% more.
Yeah.
They're adding another 50, 60%,
That's insane, yeah.
which is insane. So it is about Elden Ring. Now, there is an issue because everyone's getting hyped up about the new Elden Ring DLC, Shadow of the Erdtree. However, you can't just go to the main menu and go start instantly from the beginning of the DLC.
Right.
On a lot of games, you can, for example, Cyberpunk 2077, which I'm playing at the moment, you start a new game. You can literally start from the beginning of the DLC and flag the main game if you want to.
Right, okay.
That is not an option in a FromSoft game.
Oh.
You have to get to the point where it all starts, which means there are 2 massive, crucial bosses you have to beat in order to even start the DLC.
Oh.
Who are they, of course?
The big guy.
Star Scourge Radahn. You're correct.
Oh, thank you. I got it right.
And also Moog, Lord of the Blood, or whatever his name is.
Okay.
So in order to even get to the start of the DLC, people have paid money for this DLC.
Oh, my God.
You have to beat those 2.
Oh.
People are not very good at this game, right?
Yeah, because it's hard. These are
it's
like the hardest games ever, aren't they?
Really hard,
Yeah.
and you have to really grind and get really good to beat them. So people are just going straight to these 2 to try and get straight to the DLC. They can't beat them. So now Elden Ring pros are offering up their assistance because all FromSoft games have a thing where you can call in someone to help you fight a boss.
Oh, like call a friend, like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
A phone a friend thing. And it's been happening for years, and all the Dark Souls and Demon Souls online. You can say, I need help. Someone will pop up. You don't know who they are. They're from another universe, and they will help you beat the boss.
I didn't know that.
Which is
cool.
it's a really cool feature. They've been doing it for a couple of decades
Awesome.
now. So if you are having trouble getting to the new DLC area, go and check out. It's a Reddit page. It's a subreddit. Sorry, it's called Beyond the Fog. Mm-hmm. Now it's a community dedicated to online multiplayer in the Elden Ring universe, where you can request help with a boss or area, or offer help with bosses and areas. It is full of friendly Tarnished, offering to lend a helping hand on PC, PS5, and Xbox. If you just want to check out the new DLC that everyone's raving about, go there, convince someone to help you. People are happy to help. They want to show off how good they are at the game.
Yeah.
And they can help get you to that DLC area.
Oh, wow. That's so frustrating that you can't just just go straight to it, because you might have already beaten those bosses in the past, but you want to start a new game, do you, when you want to do the DLC?
I do, because I'm such a nutter that I have to start from the beginning again.
Yeah.
Because I can't remember anything and I have to work my way there.
Yeah.
See you in 150 hours.
Yeah.
Whereas someone who's just jumping back, and to be honest, you're going to have to be up to speed, because all the reviews I've read, even once you finish the game, you're really high powered, you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Into the new DLC, the first major boss you come up against wipes the floor with everyone. Oh. So they have really cranked shit up.
So the DLC is actually even harder than the original game?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So people are going to help you get there, and then you're on your own and it's way harder. Good luck.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
So I can't wait to get my hands on it. It sounds crazy, but I absolutely love the idea of it. So I'm going to be all over that once I finish Cyberpunk. Second piece of gaming news. Naked sauna sessions, a critical part of game development process.
Sorry, that sounds weird.
It's Ellie. It is incredibly weird.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Okay, so earlier this week, a studio called Spectrum Studios,
okay,
they have a creative director named Jack Pikowski.
Okay.
I think he's from Poland. So he's designing a game at the moment, and he's listed a whole lot of jobs on LinkedIn.
Oh, yeah.
A lady by the name of Alexandra Wojna applied for a job to be the art director of a new game, but then turned down the role after the job interview. The reason why she turned down the job was, from what you...
Oh, no.
She turned down the job because, as part of her job as potentially being the art director of this game, she would have to participate in sauna sessions with the game's director and some other female members of staff who are in charge of writing the narrative for this new game, right?
Okay.
She turned it down because of that. Now, they had this... They had another argument after that on LinkedIn through public messaging, and everyone could see it.
Oh, whoa.
So this is the stupidest thing about it, is the way he's justified. And there are bits like, I get, there are certain bits, and you'll see, well, I get where he's coming from, but 95% of my brain is like, I don't care where he's coming from.
Okay, yeah.
This is weird.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so when he asked her why, she wasn't going to come work for him, she said, the reason I turned you down was you consider naked sauna sessions part of the work responsibilities in the studio. I told you that was a deal breaker.
Yep, fair enough.
Okay.
Why? How is he going to justify this? I don't understand.
It's so stupid. Okay. He then accused her of wasting time on social media rather than coming and getting involved and writing this sauna thing, blah, 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 blah. And I quote, my narrative girls had to go to the sauna with me to come up with an amazing script for proof of concept. It went really well, blah, 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 blah. The justification for why they needed to be naked in the sauna, this is funny. The wetness level inside certain saunas can get very high, and if someone was using a towel, it may result with a fungal infection, which is why there are times participants are recommended to go in nude. So he has set up this situation. Now, I know what you're thinking. What has this got to do with the game?
Yeah.
He is creating a game which is a mix of Life is Strange, Final Fantasy, Heart of Darkness, and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2.
Wow, that is so random.
That is so random. The main character plays the role of a sauna master, whose job it is to perform in various saunas. And then it says in brackets, smells, music, choreography. You don't need a game developer smell. We can't sniff the TV. We don't need that. Okay, this is all justifying it. And then he said, look, the reason being the main character plays a sauna master or engineer, right?
What even is that?
Asked, and then he said, oh, how about this? Would you hire an engineer to build you an aeroplane if they didn't understand the mechanics that make a plane fly? No. This is why we all need to go into the sauna together and write this video game.
Naked.
And he recommends naked for hygiene reasons.
What?
I know.
That is bizarre.
This all happened on LinkedIn, out in public. He's since edited it all. And I was just reading this article. I was just like, what is this guy playing at? And why is he doing it publicly? And how does he seriously think that anyone's going to do that? And how is he thinking he's going to get away with that?
Yeah, I don't understand that. Like, I don't get what are you going to get within the sauna for the storyline that's actually going to make a difference to the storyline? You're not building an actual sauna in the game, are you?
I think anything he's doing with a sauna is to justify the fact that he is getting into a sauna in real life.
Yeah.
He is designing this amazing game, which is a mix of 5 games that, by the way, doesn't sound like they're going to go together very well. And he's also thrown in, and the main character is a sauna engineer. So we better get all the chicks, by the way, and we better get them in the sauna with me to write this game.
It's very convenient that all of the writers are women as well. I find that very suspicious.
Very suspicious, yeah. So that's the latest from the gaming industry.
Wow.
Look, there's a lot of other news going on, positive stuff, but I was reading this and I was like, this guy, the fact that he did all of this on LinkedIn, the conversation was 100% on LinkedIn, out in public.
Oh my gosh.
Brilliant. Nice work.
That is brilliant. No, it's a good bit of gaming news, actually. It's unique. It's quirky. It's a bit different.
Yeah.
I like it.
Did I mention the developer's name? Guy Mansell. No, I said it at the beginning. Anyway, that's your gaming news.
All right, picture this. It's 2005. You've just got home from intermediate school. Mum's just hung up the phone. The phone is free. You jump on the computer, dial up. Ding, 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 ding. Not going to do the whole thing. And it's the best day of your life because you know you're about to jump online. You're going to jump into the likes of MySpace, MSN, perhaps even Habbo Hotel.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby. Did you ever play Habbo Hotel?
No, I didn't, but I was always straight home, straight on the computer, fire up MSN chat, jump on MySpace, jump on Bebo, get it all going.
That was me. Man, I loved it, the dopamine I would get from that. And God, it was annoying that you couldn't do it while Mum was on the phone because mums back in those days talked a lot on the phone, I found, because they didn't have cell phones. They couldn't text each other.
Does your mum still have a house phone?
No, not anymore. But that was probably like maybe 4 or 5 years ago they got rid of that, I think.
Because my mum still does have a house phone. And I'm like, who rings the house phone? She's like, oh, yeah, it rings.
Does it?
I don't know. I've never seen them ever once use it.
Yeah.
And I go there once a month, like, and stay the weekend.
And there's no calls.
I've never heard it ring.
Yeah, waste of money, waste of time.
Get rid of it. But yeah, that was so annoying, the whole internet cutting out thing.
Yeah, it was. I used to get so mad when Mum would be like, all right, Ellie. She'd literally say G to G, B-I, B-I. Like, she'd mock the way I wrote things, which just made me even more angry.
That's funny.
Shut up.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Anyway, Habbo Hotel. I used to play it a little bit. I didn't play it a lot, but I found it really interesting because back in those days, it was like a weird chat room. I was 11 years old. I definitely shouldn't have been in a chat room.
No, and so what is Habbo Hotel? I don't even know what it is.
Okay, so Habbo Hotel was back in the early 2000s. It was an online place where you basically, it was like an online community and universe. It was like a little universe where you could live inside the universe. It was a hotel. There were lots of different rooms you could hang out in. You could make your own rooms. You could put your own furniture in, and it was essentially like a virtual world where you could meet people.
And you have your own little avatar.
Yeah. Own little avatar, and you have to buy credits to, upgrade things and buy things.
With real money?
With real money.
Wow.
I never had any real money, so I never actually got the full benefit of Habbo Hotel. I more just went in there to be curious and just talk to random strangers, which I shouldn't have been doing.
Yes.
But what Habbo Hotel have done is it actually had never went away. Habbo Hotel's been a thing since then until 2024. But last week, they released Habbo Hotel Origins. Now, what they've done is they've found the old programming from 2005 and they've re-released Habbo Hotel in the old school format. So it's essentially the game I played when I was 11 has now just been re-released.
Exactly as it was.
Exactly as it was.
Does it look terrible?
It doesn't look as terrible as like you'd think, but it definitely looks old school.
Have they sharpened it up a wee bit or tooted with it a bit? Or?
I mean, I'm guessing they must have tooted with like the pixelation because it's actually quite clear.
Yeah,
I had basically today I had a play on it because I wanted to go back and be like, what was this like? And I had such fond memories. Although now that I'm older, I realise that was definitely a chat room full of like old men probably talking to kids.
Don't you worry, Ellie. I got catfished.
Yes, did
Looking
you?
back, I got catfished on Bebo. My friends and I all did.
Yes, wait, I think you might have said something about getting catfished before.
And on MSN chat and all sorts of shit. Like, and now I'm looking back like, damn, I should not have been doing that.
Yeah.
But nowadays I'm like, thank goodness I don't have kids who are on Snapchat and stuff because that's even worse.
Oh my God, I know. It's stressful thinking about how to handle that whole conversation with children.
Oh, yeah, because you've got 3 kids, eh?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, just popped them out last week, triplets. Anyway, so I jumped on Habbo Hotel today, really excited, like, oh, nostalgia. You know when a new thing comes back that you did when you were a kid?
Definitely.
So I did a stream today and I just streamed me discovering Habbo Hotel again. Now, look, it was one of those situations where you like, it was better than you. It's not as good as you remember.
Oh, rose-tinted glasses.
Yeah, I went and I was like, right, what do I do? And I was like, I guess I'll go into this room. And there's just random people in there like talking to each other. And it was sort of, It was real random. The nostalgia side of it, loved. It made me feel young again.
Like hearing the music, seeing the designs and stuff,
Yeah.
you're like, that's right.
It was cool that way. But I got stuck in a weird maze at some point where I couldn't get out of it. There was a weird chess game that wasn't functioning properly. It was almost like it was still a bit broken from back in the
Right.
day. I know
Yeah.
that was just my experience. There was a cute guy there though. There's a diving board you can jump off in the main pool, and this guy bought me some tickets to dive off the diving board. So I did some diving, which was pretty
wow.
fun. That was probably my highlight, was just diving off this board. But you have to pay real money to dive off the diving board.
So that's BS. But does
Yeah.
Sam, your partner, does he know that some dude was buying you tickets in Habbo Hotel?
This is the thing. I think I may have an online boyfriend now because of this. He
Oh
was
my
like,
God.
yeah, he was from Spain. He was like, yeah,
Hot
go.
Spanish dude at the pool.
Yeah. He was, I think, grooming me. But hey, I got to jump off a diving board.
I remember what it was like being groomed. That's right.
That's right. It was so much fun. But basically, I just wanted to come in and do a little review on it. Well, it's not really a review. I'm just sort of saying it was really fun once to go back in and like play it again for nostalgia.
Yeah.
But it wasn't as fun as I remember it. And you have to have money to do stuff. It was quite cute. There were little conversations going on. You can see people having conversations. You can see what they're saying. And a lot of them were talking about nostalgia, like
Yeah.
MSN.
How cool
and
is
like,
this?
Yeah, remember when we used to do this? So the nostalgia side of it was really, really cool. But really, it was just a chat room. And I didn't really know what else to do with it within 5 minutes. I was like, what else do I do here? I don't really know.
Back in the day, when you get home from school, it was this new thing where we could communicate with one another after school that wasn't calling one another on the phone.
Yeah, we didn't have to like call up, talk to the parent first, and
Yeah.
then talk to our friend. We could just go straight on MSN and chat straight to our friend.
Hi, Miss Harwood, is Ellie there?
Yeah,
Tell her it's Chris from school. No, I'm not her boyfriend. We're just friends. Exactly. So
Yeah.
you cut all that out. You can communicate straight. Your parents are like, oh, she's just playing a silly game.
Yeah.
And realistically, you're actually communicating with heaps of different people.
Yeah, this is the thing. I don't think they knew that it was a chat room.
No,
It looked like a game, but it
Well,
wasn't.
they probably didn't even know what a chat room was.
No, I know.
And so the issue is nowadays it's so much easier to communicate in billions of different ways.
Yeah.
That has massively lost its thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It really lost its spark. I was sort of like, oh, this is just what I do every day online. I'm literally streaming on Twitch right now talking to strangers. So it's definitely lost its appeal.
So you're on Twitch communicating with people while you play a thing that is way worse than the thing you are currently doing.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's
yeah.
cool.
No, it was really, really worth my time. But no, I liked the nostalgia side of it, and it got me thinking. We then started chatting about like meeting people online, because back in the day I was told don't meet people online, don't do that. But now we do it all the time. It's kind of normal. And I actually asked my stream like, has anyone actually made friends online? And I was overwhelmed. There was about 20 people that came in all at once and were like, yeah, I met my friend online. Yeah, I met my boyfriend online. And there were so many people
Wow.
who were millennials who actually did meet people in rooms like Habbo Hotel, which I was quite interested in because I personally got scared away from
Well,
chatting to strangers.
But that's because at the time you were a child.
I was. Yes, no, that's right. I was 11.
So there's a difference between you and you now, Ellie, meeting people online. You can do whatever you want.
No, it's a good point. Yeah, it's a good
yeah.
point you raised there, Chris.
So that's probably why. But
yeah.
what do you think? Because obviously that game was designed for younger people, but now was it just full of people your age?
I think that the majority of people on the Origins version were just old millennials like me, just reminiscing
Just ancient
and stuff.
millennials like you.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
yeah.
me.
Oh
but
my God, I remember this game.
That was literally me. But it also got, naturally, I just started thinking about all the old school things. Like, what was I doing in 2005? So I was like, I was year 7. No, year 8.
So how old are you now?
So I'm 31.
I'm 32, so I
Yeah.
was a year older than you.
Yeah.
Just about to turn 33, maybe even 2 years older than
We're
you.
both in August, so we're a year apart.
That's right.
So, yes, it was 2005, so I was year 8.
Yep, so I would have been first year of high school.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And did you have, what was your first ever email address?
First ever email address was made for me by my friend Cameron. I made it at his house. It was a Hotmail.
Oh, yes, yep, same.
At the time, a viral video, or sort of before YouTube, there was like websites you could go to that had heaps of funny videos on it.
Ah.
And one of them was this thing where it's just like a guy listing off llama, 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 and one of the things he said was llama, llama, pine cone.
Oh, yeah?
And so my first email address was llama_pinecone at hotmail.com.
Oh, my God, amazing.
How embarrassing is that?
No, that's not as bad as my first email address was Ellie_hates_homework at hotmail.com.
That's cool.
I was really showing how rebellious I was.
That's great though, because that's actually like kind of funny. It's like, I hate homework, kind of
Yeah.
badass. Whereas mine is just effing stupid.
Yeah, I wouldn't have known what the reference was, to be fair, to your one.
No, that's why it's stupid. And then it just always remained stupid, and I changed it pretty soon afterwards.
Yeah.
Wow, no, it was like 3 years later.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Also, MSN, I remember having my username was like always like song lyrics from like a Fall Out Boy song.
Aha. So when I was on MSN, which is the same time as you.
Yeah.
For those that don't know, maybe a bit younger, MSN chat was like having a WhatsApp open when you got home from school. You go into your computer and you open like a WhatsApp style thing, and then you add people and you can just chat to them, literally just typing words to one another.
Yeah.
And there were 2 types of people on there. Emo chicks.
That was me.
That was Ellie, or like punky chicks, you know.
That was me.
That loved My Chemical Romance and Fall Out Boy and stuff like that.
Yes.
The other one was gangster people.
Oh, yeah.
I was a gangster.
Were you?
Ghetto Superstar was the name of my chat.
Was it?
I was called @Ghetto Superstar or something, but it was written like capital G, lowercase h, 3.
Oh,
and
no.
had dollar signs around it and like this design to make it look like it all had wings.
Were you one of those people that did the up and down writing? So like small case, lowercase, uppercase, lowercase.
That's right.
Were you one of those people?
And threw like dollar signs in there and numbers and all sorts of shit. And then had like stars and crosses and stuff to make it look cool.
So is that like your Bebo page as well? Bebo had just like that
My
font?
MySpace.
Your MySpace?
Was like that. And it was a photo of me with a backwards hat, like 12 years of age, thinking I'm the man. Once
Sick.
again, my parents had no idea that I was on essentially like I had my own social profile whilst at school. It was incredibly embarrassing. And to be honest, if I went back in time and saw that kid, I would want to punch him because he was punishing and thought he was gangster.
Yeah. No, yeah, same. I was very like you say, I was one of those emo punk chicks. Another one of my email addresses there was a Fall Out Boy song, and in it says, "I'll be your best kept secret and your biggest mistake." And so my next email address after the homework one was bestkeptsecret.biggestmistake@hotmail.com.
That is such a long email address.
I know, bro.
And you have to verify by typing it in a second time. You're like, oh my God.
Yes.
So hang on, who was like all the especially like the punky emo girls I knew, they all had like one band they were obsessed with. Yours was Fall Out Boy.
Fall Out Boy and My Chemical Romance would have been the 2.
So who was like the hunky guy that you really loved?
Well, I loved a bit of Pete Wentz.
Okay.
He was quite hot in Fall Out Boy. And Gerard Way of My Chemical Romance was also really cool.
Yeah.
And then I remember another one of my usernames on MSN was So13. As in like, I'm so 13 years old. Like I thought that was cool.
And you were 13, right?
Yeah.
And right, okay.
Don't know why. I think my friend who was 15 at the time used to say it to me like, "You're so 13," as in like, "You're so young." And I'm like, "Yeah,
that's right. Yeah,
I'm so 13.
So 13.
Yeah, so that was another one. But then mine were always like lyric usernames, or did you ever do that thing on MSN where you'd appear offline and then come online when you saw that your crush had come online? Did you ever do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
To get their attention?
Oh, because your thing pops up saying, "Hey, blah blah."
It'd be like, "Dong." It was like that sound effect.
Yeah,
Can't
absolutely.
do it. Maybe Sam could put the actual sound effects in post.
She's not going to do that. Definitely not. She's
fair
not.
enough. Don't do that. I did that.
Did it work?
Nah, not really, eh?
I have a story about using MSN, which is so embarrassing. And I'm not sure it's super appropriate for this podcast, but I can tell it if you want.
Okay. I feel like there has been a story you've told before. Is it this one? I'm wondering.
Potentially. I told a story about getting catfished and going to meet up with her at the Mount.
Right. That's what I'm thinking of.
And now looking back, there was definitely an old dude who Google imaged photos of a young blonde girl.
Yeah. Okay, another go.
My mate and I were on MSN chat,
Yeah.
and people would start getting webcams.
Oh, yeah.
And we were chatting to this girl from Auckland. I can't remember her name, blah, 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 blah. She was like 2 years older than us, and we were chatting. And then she was like, "You guys going to get a webcam?" We were like, "No, blah, 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 blah." One thing led to another. Silly young boys. We were like, "Oh, you should," because she was on the webcam.
Oh, yeah.
We were like, "You should get your kid off on the webcam, right?"
Yeah.
This is, and reminder, I was like 12 or 13 or something.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Yes, this is why I didn't want to tell her, but I kind of did because
No,
it's
I
so
love it.
stupid.
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Oh, okay, I can if you want."
Oh, my God. What did she?
And then I went, "Oh, no, sorry, got to go." Shut the laptop. Freaked out.
So you were all talk, bro.
Yeah, I was all talk. And I was just messaging as well. I could have just been like, "Yeah, sweet."
Yes.
And then, like, you know, and then
oh.
I just freaked out.
Nah, fair enough. No, you were respectful. You were respectful, Chris. We'll go with that.
I was a little piece of shit, Ellie. I was like, honestly, a year away from telling her to come design a game in a sauna with me. You know, it was so embarrassing, and I love that little Chris freaked out and just was like, "No, sorry, Mum's calling. I gotta go. Bye," and then just like logged off.
And you were under the username Ghetto Superstar. Wow.
Not very ghetto.
What
I know
a-
you think. I'm glad we brought that up.
Yeah, no. So that it's got me thinking about the nostalgia really. But yeah, Habbo Hotel. If you're our age, 31ish, you want to jump on, it's definitely fun to play, but it's not as fun as I remember it. Essentially.
Okay, so your favorite bands at the time? I just want to get on this nostalgia route.
Yeah, go.
Mine would have been like 50 Cent.
Oh,
Chingy,
wow.
Twister.
Yeah, wow. We're very different.
Ghetto shit.
Yeah.
Or like Dr. Dre, Exhibit.
Okay, yeah.
Eminem. What was your favorite food back in the day?
Oh, do you know what I loved? I loved pods. You know, like chocolate pods?
Were they out?
I think so. When I was a teenager, they were, not as a kid.
For the record, pods are incredible.
They're so good and they're not in New Zealand anymore. Oh my God, I'm so mad.
Are they not?
Nah, not really.
Okay.
You can find them at dairies if they're importing them, but they're really expensive. Yeah,
Right, okay.
They're in Australia.
Mine was you can't get them anymore. Fruit. What were the one?
Tangy fruits.
Tangy fruits.
Oh my gosh, that was my
Tangy
second
fruits.
thing. Yes, at the movies.
Google image Tangy Fruits New Zealand, and it'll come up with some it was like a little small circle punnet. You got them in the movies, and that punnet would last you like 2 weeks.
Did it?
Oh, sorry. That punnet would last me like 2 weeks because they were so hard the way through. You could just suck on one for like 20 minutes.
That's true. I loved tangy fruits. Yeah, no, they were great. Why did they get rid of tangy fruits?
I don't know, man, but they got rid
sucks.
of Tangy Fruits and Paradiso ice blocks and all sorts of things, and I want them to come
Forgot
back.
about those. Oh my gosh.
And I want them to come back. Favorite TV shows back then?
Well, I was a huge fan of the Olsen twins back in my early days, as I've said.
As
in
my
the past.
wife is as well.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
loved
New
the
York
Olsen twins.
Minute.
Oh my God. Yeah, loved it. But in terms of other shows, it's funny, I was a real binger of my VHSs that I had on tape. Like I'd just binge those. I didn't necessarily watch a lot, but I loved Hannah Montana. That's probably the one that I loved.
Hannah Montana, shout out. Did you like The Simple Life?
Yes, but I didn't watch it much because my mum and dad, I think, thought it was a bit inappropriate, which I think maybe in hindsight it was a little bit.
Do you know what's really inappropriate?
What?
Is the other night I was talking to my wife about something and I said, for some reason it popped up, Girls of the Playboy Mansion.
Oh my gosh.
And she was like, I loved that show when I was a kid. And I was like, what?
Bro.
That is like the worst thing to watch.
I know. I remember now as a teenager, I was watching that and I look back on that. That's so bad that I was watching that stuff.
Especially since what's happened since then.
Yeah, I know.
So bad. Anyway, this is why we're massively now.
Yeah,
sorry,
awesome.
we're going to have to beep that. Damn it. My favourite TV show back then, just Pokemon.
Oh, of course.
Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Just a ghetto superstar.
Nice.
Doing my thing.
Doing your thing. Were you on Bebo? You were just on
Huge
MySpace.
Bebo guy.
Yeah.
Oh my God, another embarrassing story. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
I had a best mate. We were inseparable at high school.
Oh, yeah.
His name was Hayden. We were Bebo other halves
Oh, that is true friendship right
from
there.
the beginning.
Yeah, wow.
Until
Did he dump you?
no.
Did he get a girlfriend? Did you get a girlfriend?
Old Captain Piece of Shit over here.
Oh.
I didn't even get a girlfriend. I had a crush on a girl, and then I asked her if she wanted to be my other half. She said yes. Made her my other half, and then she ended up like getting a boyfriend like a week later.
Oh my gosh.
And in that meantime, and I like looking back now, I'm like, you cannot get rid of your mates like that.
No.
Absolutely not.
No, you can't.
And then in that meantime, he had become other halves with our other best mate.
Oh.
And then I didn't have another half.
So you were on your own.
And I had all this Bebo love to give.
Oh.
But I didn't have another half, and it was very embarrassing.
That is really embarrassing, bro.
How much of a dick was I back in the day?
Yeah, no, I get it though. I think I probably would have done the same at that age. And
I thought you were saying, I get it though, like, because you're still quite a dick.
yeah, that's what I meant. Did you have the top friends thing?
Yes, the top 16 or whatever it
That
was.
was so bad for your mental health.
So bad.
That was so bad.
And I remember clicking around and being like, fuck, I'm only like number 4 on, like the best I've got is like number 4. Like even on Hayden's now I'm number 2 because since I met him, you know?
Yes, it was heartbreaking. Do you know another thing that I used to do is on Bebo.
This is a great topic.
Yeah, this is nothing to do with gaming, but I love it. On Bebo, you had profile view, so it would show how many times your profile had been viewed, and it was
Yes.
quite a clout thing. Like it was sort of like
Yes.
oh, you're popular. So like I used to go incognito and then refresh the page and then just view my own page so that I get views.
How good is this? We're just admitting to things that back in the day, if anyone found out,
Would be so embarrassing. It'd be social suicide. It really
actually would.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's just like, it's good. It's character building.
Exactly.
Being able to look back on that and go, that's actually funny, and I'm embarrassed at myself.
Yeah, amen. Hey,
That's
if you've got any other nostalgic things you remember from the early 2000s, please contribute in the ECG for ECG Facebook group because I wanna read more about stuff that you
It's
remember.
such a good thing.
Yeah.
And just, Ellie, does that work for podcast listens?
What do you mean?
The whole refreshing,
refreshing.
because that could help us a
Maybe.
lot. Yeah,
Maybe we should do that.
Yeah, we're going to do that.
Yeah,
Okay.
good idea, bro. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
let's end the segment here and do that.
Okay, so yeah.
Okay, so you know how that segment, Ellie, went way longer than it was supposed to?
Yes.
And most of it wasn't even about video games.
Yes.
We also forgot to play Guy's audio clip that he sent in regarding this very topic.
Yeah, sorry, Guy. I got carried away with the Habbo Hotel chat, the MSN.
And the fallout and the other stories about Ellie and webcams and all sorts of stuff. But here is Guy's contribution to this very topic.
Ellie's talking about Habbo Hotel. Big fan. Loved Habbo Hotel growing up. It was like a fancy MSN. My MSN handle was Mini Mansell because I was small and that's my last name. So around 2000 when I moved to New Zealand because I was from the UK. LimeWire, Linkin Park, Hybrid Theory. I was putting gel in my hair. I was playing Siphon Filter. God, that game slapped.
Throwback.
Siphon Filter on PlayStation and Command & Conquer Red Alert 2 on PC.
Throwback.
I'd actually do anything to play that game again. I don't really care about Siphon Filter, although I think you can get that on the PlayStation PS Plus subscription. No, I want to play Red Alert 2 again. I'm pretty sure it's on Steam, but I don't have the setup for it. But I'd love to play Red Alert 2. God, I sank some hours into that. And then there was the DLC, Yuri's Revenge. God, that was a good game. But that's what I was doing. And then also talking to strangers on Habbo Hotel and, just bobbering it up.
Oh, that's right.
What the hell is bobbering it up?
That's right. We've had this chat on this podcast before about Habbo Hotel.
The swear word.
Yeah, the swear word. I forgot about that. I didn't try and swear today. I should have done that on stream.
It automatically changes any swear words to bobber.
To bobber, yeah.
That's right.
Oh, funny stuff. What games were you playing at 13? We didn't actually talk about what games we were playing back then, apart from I was playing Habbo Hotel, which is
That's
not a game.
a good point. I was playing Crash Team Racing on PlayStation 1.
Yeah.
I was playing Pokemon Blue and Red on an emulator on my computer and shouldn't have been because I was naughty and couldn't afford a Game Boy. And I was playing Age of Empires 2, which, by the way, unlike Habbo Hotel, all of those games still slap.
Ah, nice.
Absolutely slap.
So you were onto the good games before they were even good games.
That's right.
You were on day one. Nice. I think I was playing Formula 1 2000 on PlayStation 1.
That's right. Little petrol head.
Yeah, that's me. Vroom, vroom. And I also was playing Spyro, as long as it wasn't making me feel sick, or Crash Bandicoot. That was kind of it. Yeah, that was probably it around that time.
Yeah, cool.
Thank you, Guy, for your contribution.
Yeah.
And sorry I forgot to include you earlier.
Yeah.
I guess it's time for your segment now, Chris.
So, I don't know why there's so much dead air there. This is
Sorry.
a good podcast. My segment. So I put a bit of a conversation starter in the ECG Facebook group chat. If you aren't a member yet, jump in and contribute. It's a great place to be. Great place to hang out.
Yeah, mate.
Sort of like Habbo Hotel.
I was going to say, yeah, but safer. And
cool.
Yeah, less kind of weirdo creepies. What?
Yeah.
Maybe not.
And the conversation starter I put in there was basically, have you ever played a game and just made up a rule that you decided to stick to? The game doesn't reward you in any way, shape or form. You don't get like a trophy for doing this. You just decide this is how I'm going to play the game.
Yeah.
Now, this started because I am playing Cyberpunk 2077 at the moment, which is brilliant. It's a first-person shooter RPG thing, and they have put so much work into the interior of cars. Every single car, and there's not as many different types of cars as there is in Grand Theft Auto, but there are heaps of them, and every single one of them, you hop in, and the entire interior has been, they've designed it all, including the back seat. A lot of things happen. You're in the back seat of cars driving around, and there's just details everywhere.
Wow.
I decided the entire playthrough of this game, I'm going to drive all cars from the point of view of the driver. Steering wheel in front of me, looking through the window, crap all around.
Oh, as opposed to like the third person where you're sort of behind it. Yeah,
which
okay.
is so much easier.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I'm doing it. So it's so hard to drive in Cyberpunk. It's definitely not one of the strengths of the game, the driving controls.
Yeah.
That I had to go online in the game, go online, and there's like a car purchasing website, and I bought the smallest, shittiest little hatchback.
Oh, yeah.
And it was my learn to drive car.
Okay, yeah.
And so I've got this hatchback, and there's a cool feature where wherever you are, because it's like futuristic, you can call and your car will just show up and arrive and you can hop in it. And so I'm learning to drive in this little hatchback. It's really slow, and I'm like, okay, it's a lot wider than you think it is, and you're trying to overtake cars and you're clipping them. I've mowed down so many pedestrians.
Really?
So many pedestrians have been mowed down because I just can't handle the width of the car and the speed.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I've made this decision to punish myself like this for no reason.
Yeah.
Just because I loved the amount of work they'd put into the interiors of the cars.
Right.
And so now the entire playthrough, and now I've since upgraded to this really fast car with guns and stuff on it. that is out of the control. I've run down so many pedestrians. I've hit into so many cop cars and just caused so much shit.
Oh, no.
I refuse to go to third person mode.
Wow. So you're really committing to it.
100%.
What's the benefit for you though? Anything? Just stress.
I've just a lot of stress. You try to arrive somewhere and just start a mission and you accidentally mow down 4 people and the cops are after you. So it adds a lot of time.
Right.
There's no real payoff really other than to say that I did it to people.
Okay.
And then they say, that's cool, man.
Right. Well, I haven't said that's cool, man.
It's because I haven't finished it yet.
Oh.
Yeah, trust me, you'll change.
Ooh, what a cliffhanger.
Yeah,
All right.
you'll change. But that's the rule I've put on myself. And
Okay.
the example I put on the Facebook group too was once I decided I was going to start San Andreas from the beginning and follow all road rules.
Yeah.
Grand Theft Auto.
How'd that go?
Well, one of the listeners in our group actually summed it up the best because it was Mark on our Facebook group.
Yeah.
I am sure everyone who has played any GTA has tried that at some point, and it is impossible. Not only is some missions won't actually let you to stick to the rules of the road, they require you to be naughty.
Yeah.
But because the NPC drivers are crazy and will crash into you because you stopped at a red light.
Oh, right. True.
So I'd stop at a red light, like a pedestrian would be going past, and
Yeah.
people will be like crashing into you. It's just mayhem.
Yeah, I have actually done that. I haven't played GTA from start to finish or anything. My partner plays it, and so sometimes he'll give me a go on it.
Yeah.
And I've tried just to drive around, just like open world, not any mission, and follow the rules.
And just even staying in the lane
Yeah.
and stuff and turning around a corner.
Yeah, but then I just get bored within a minute. I just want to start speeding, and
Yeah.
like I can't impose that rule on myself when I play GTA.
So
yeah.
I'm someone who's quite stubborn and can do that. I lasted 30 minutes and then I was done.
Well, that's just quite a long time though.
Oh,
Nice.
I wouldn't do it nowadays. So
Yeah.
that was a rule that I imposed. A lot of people got stuck into this, which is great. Jory McDougall on the chat had a great one, which is I often try to do a no fast travel rule with games that I have.
Oh.
So I've done this before and you go, right, I'm not fast traveling. It ruins the illusion, the
Yeah.
immersion.
Yeah.
You can't do it in real life. I'm
No.
going to walk. In fact, there is a game, Kingdom Come Deliverance. They go for gritty realism. It's a massive open world, and there is hardcore mode makes it so you can't fast travel at all.
Ah.
But for you to get from one city, it's like, go to this city. It's on the other side of the map. You're like walking or on a horse for like an hour in real time.
Real time.
Just to get there.
Oh no.
What's the payoff?
Yeah. What is the payoff?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Once again, I come in here, I say it, you say, wow, Chris, you're cool.
Oh, sorry. Well, Chris, you're cool.
That's the payoff,
Yeah,
really,
yeah,
that I'm
yeah.
after. So
Gotcha.
that was
Yeah.
a great one from Jory. Harry Cooper on the chat. Mm-hmm. I had a save on Skyrim once where my goal was to obtain as many followers as possible.
All right.
In these games, you can go up to random NPCs and do a mission for them, and then they can be like, oh, if you want, I can hang out with you and be a little helper.
Yeah.
Now, you can only have one.
Okay.
However, there are a whole heap of missions where they give you a follower. So he half does all of these missions, gets given all these extra followers. And he said here, I think I got to around 14 people, 2 dogs and 1 goat before I got tired of getting stuck in corridors. It's just very funny because you have to half do all these missions just to get the person following you. And they're like, oh, when are we going to go get these herbs for this potion?
Oh, yeah. I see.
Yeah, that's
funny.
That is very, very funny.
Love
Rachel Payne, who I love, her middle name obviously starts with T, so she just kept the T.
Oh, I see.
Rachel T. Payne.
I see what you're saying.
I often try to play The Sims without using the money cheat.
Oh, I've tried that and it doesn't work.
It lasts until I get tired of having to fix everything when it breaks.
Yeah.
Because all the cheap, like you go, right, it's my first house, I've got no money, I'm going to get a job, rise
Yeah.
up the ranks,
Yeah.
buy the base oven, the cheap fridge. All of it just craps out and catches on fire.
Yes, it does.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
I don't think I've ever played Sims without cheats. I'm not going to lie.
I had a bit of a I reignited the love with The Sims maybe like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And I did it without, and it's quite tedious.
Yeah, it is, I've tried it too and it just wasn't that fun.
I got up through the job ranks and I was like, what am I doing here, man? Yeah. What are we even doing here?
It's hard work living in real life. Why would you do it to yourself in a game, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Cameron Murdoch, one Elder Scrolls Oblivion playthrough, which is the game before Skyrim. Mm-hmm. I took the boots off of everything I killed and put them at the front door of my castle. So in these games, I had this weird mechanic where you could like grab an object
Yeah.
and then just drop it out of your inventory, and they had animated all of the objects. So they had boots. So you drop it out of your inventory, there's just some boots sitting there. Mm-hmm. You can then, by clicking R3, pick anything up and just sort of place things where you want.
Oh.
So he's obviously gone through, killed everyone, goblins, blah, 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 stolen all the boots, stacked them up outside his castle. I got so many, I made the game crash due to the literal hill of boots it had to render whenever I entered said castle.
That's amazing. So it was almost like his trophy cabinet of how many people he'd killed, but it was their boots. It's quite grim.
It's actually very grim now that you talk about it. But I just love the idea of this bloke, Cameron, just imposing this stupid rule.
Yeah.
I'm going to start a boot collection. And then giving up because you literally can't even load. You're like, what am I even doing here? Have you ever done this, Ellie?
I've only done it in GTA, like I mentioned before, where I've kind of tried to follow the road rules and it's lasted 3 seconds. I have also tried the Sims thing where I've tried not to have the cheats. Again, doesn't last. So to answer your question, I haven't really done this because I can barely even play video games. I've just got to get in there and play it. I'm not talented enough yet or committed enough to impose extra rules. I'm still learning. You know what I'm saying?
I think it takes a special type of person.
Yeah.
And
you need patience and I don't have it.
Yes. And you just enough patience to just commit to something for the sake of it.
Yeah.
So thanks heaps to everyone who did contribute on that post. Please do keep sharing.
Yeah, please.
And we could touch on more of these on next week's episode. But I believe Guy has some input for this topic.
If I've guessed this correctly, he's talking about Grand Theft Auto and how he sticks to the road rules, and that was a rule that he set himself, and we all did that. Actually, I did it. It just gets way too boring way too quickly. Like I just didn't have the stamina to stick to the road rules in Grand Theft Auto. I just had to mow down some civilians and just shoot people and steal cars. That's what Grand Theft Auto is for. So that was I briefly stuck to that rule, but it was more of a challenge I set myself, and the rule was I wasn't allowed to stop until I either completed the whole game or died. I was obsessed with playing Halo 2 when I was like 16, and I would lie on my bed backwards and have my head upside down and try and play the game as much as possible upside down.
That's funny.
And I mean, I'd played it so many times that I just needed to do something to make it fresh. So I tried to play Halo 2 upside down, with all the blood rushing to my head.
That's funny.
And I made it to, if you are familiar with the first...
I'm not,
because
if
you're familiar with the Halo 2 game, I made it to the first Arbiter mission, which I think is about 4 missions in.
Oh, yeah.
Which is still a solid, 20, 30 minutes of playing a video game upside down.
Yeah, shit one too.
But that's the only time I actually I can think of where I made a rule myself when it came to playing a video game. Oh, the other rule is if I don't like a game within 30 seconds after getting it for free, I'll delete it. I'm not giving away our podcast.
Classic.
He's still sticking to that rule, old guy. Thank you very much for that. He's just reminded me there of one of my darkest shames in the world of video games.
What is that?
My mate Cameron, whose house I was at with the girl with the webcam.
Yeah.
He had one controller and we hired Guitar Hero.
Oh, yeah.
We played Guitar Hero. That was fun. And then we wanted to play Madden against one another, football, American football.
Yeah.
But we only had one controller. So he used the guitar.
Oh, and he still beat you, didn't
he beat me.
Yeah.
And he could only run on a diagonal, and I think if he strummed the right chord or something, the player would do like a spin. And he beat me 30-something to 20-something, and he has never let it down.
I bet. That is so embarrassing for you.
It's so embarrassing for me. If you've got any more embarrassing for me stories, please get in touch. Also, do it on Instagram too. Extremely Casual Gamers Podcast. Thanks, Guy.
Hey, thanks for hanging out with us for another week of the ECG podcast. Chris, what are you going to play this week?
I will be playing more Cyberpunk. I also had one hell of a game of Helldivers 2 with my little squad earlier this week. For the first time ever, we got dropped down. We're on extreme difficulty with the robots, which is quite tough. They overwhelm you.
Yeah.
And we ticked off every single thing there was to do on this one map.
Nice.
And evacuated just in a nick of time, just as we were all about to die and they were swarming in.
Yeah.
The ship came in, we boarded it, and it took off just in a nick of time. And it was the single best online multiplayer rush I think I've ever had.
Nice.
It
fun.
was sick. Yeah, if you get the difficulty right and you got a good squad and you're all working together, so satisfying.
Nice work. That does sound fun.
What about you?
Sam and I have been playing a lot of Nintendo Sports actually.
So good.
That's
I
quite
love those
fun.
games. Yeah.
It's the golf. The golf is fun, and the bowling are our two
Temp and
faves.
bowling and golf are always the two best.
Yeah, we play a lot of that, even in the mornings, because both Sam and I just work from home. So we'll have our coffee and a round of 3 holes, just as we're having our, Getting into the day,
Yeah, man.
round of 3 holes. Yes, been playing that. I still, again, haven't touched Stardew or Spiritfarer in the last week. I think I've done that thing, like I said last week, where I've just I'm scared to finish it. I don't want to finish it, so I've sort of just ignored it. But I would like to finish Spiritfarer so I can get it done. I might try and jump back into that. But yeah, probably just more Nintendo sports, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
And that's about it. Maybe some GeoGuessr. I might do some streaming, do some GeoGuessr, because that's always fun. But yeah, that's probably about it.
I've never streamed.
Yeah, nice. Maybe we should try it. We should do an ECG stream.
I'd have to get like a computer and stuff, wouldn't I?
Maybe, but you can also do it through console.
Oh, yeah. I feel like I could stream. Like I commentate
Yes, you
sports
could.
games here in New Zealand and I
definitely
like
could.
video games.
Yeah, you definitely could stream. We could stream together.
We could stream together
we could stream
without
together.
Guy, just the two of us.
Yeah, we don't need him.
We don't need
He hasn't
Guy.
been here for like 2 weeks.
Let's
so
get rid of
it's
him.
fine. Yeah, okay.
You'll probably just send heaps of voice memos in that are slightly too long anyway. You know what I mean?
Probably. Speaking of, does he have any more? Or is that it? Does he have any
That's
more?
it?
That was it. Yeah,
That was
okay,
it. Okay.
sweet.
Oh,
All
thank
right. Okay, God, I couldn't go through that again.
No, but seriously, Guy, love you, man. Can't wait to have you back on deck next week.
No, we do. We love you. And Guy will be back next week. He
Yeah.
said it. He's pinky promised it. So we will all see you / you will hear us in a week from today. Thanks for listening and have a great week.
See ya.
Bye.